A very warm welcome to SWAYAM course on Design Thinking and Innovation. A big thank you for being with me or with us for the last 15 weeks. So this is the final week, week 16, and this week is all about how you can submit what you have done through a report and a presentation. Okay, so we'll have more details on this in this section. So this is section A16, week 16. This is a very beautiful quote, kind of summarizes our journey through the 16 weeks. He who does not climb will not fall either. Okay, so basically what it's trying to say is that you need to try to climb. So let's look at week 16. This is the final week, so you have to finalize your design. You have to make a report on the progress of the design thinking and innovation process that you have followed through, and then also make a presentation. So the tools will give you details about the report, the presentation tips, and also if you need to work together, work fundamentals, how to make that into a very enriching experience. The project will ask you to submit your final report and the final presentation, and we close this with an expert discourse on innovation and creativity. Okay, so this is the final design submissions. This is the content. Okay, so this is the design thinking and innovation process and how to implement it, followed by finalizing all aspects of the design, then how to do the report and presentation. Okay, so let's look at the final design implementation details. So if you look at the process, implementation is the final phase of the design thinking and innovation process. It's actually the 6th stage. So we started with research, then analysis, ideation, then building it, then testing it with feedback, and final phase is implementing it. Okay, so it takes us forward to finalize the design. And if you look at the overview picture, so it started with a broad viewpoint, trying to search, at many places. Then analysis brings it to a few instances, and then ideation again, you think wide. Then build, you take one idea forward. Testing will give you feedback so that you can iterate it. And once you do it, it's the final design, and then you take it forward for implementation. That's where you form a company, and then you go ahead with trying to implement it. So 16.2 is finalizing the design. Okay, so you need to finalize the design in terms of all the aspects of design solution. Okay, and you're required to document the whole process in form of a report and also a presentation. So report is mainly textual in nature with some images, and presentation is mainly visual in nature with some text in it. Okay, so you need to documentation is in terms of its design features. That means what are its functions, form, material, media, list of components of the final design, and the design specification. So this goes into actually finalizing your design. So let's have a look at the final report details and the presentation details. The final report would involve documenting the design thinking and innovation process that you have done in the last 15 weeks, where you try to solve a problem that you have chosen. Okay, so the suggested number of pages is roughly 30, so it's like 2 pages per week. Okay, it's the size is A4 size, vertical format, and the presentation involves documenting the what happened during the last 15 weeks in solving the problem. Okay, and the suggested number of slides is again 30. That means roughly 2 slides per week. So the final submission would involve finalizing your design, making a report, making a presentation, and submit it. So why is this important? Why is the report and presentation important? Because both report and presentation documents the design thinking process that you followed. Okay, and you followed a process to come out with an innovative solution, okay, to a chosen problem, right? So it kind of summarizes the project, it can highlight its very salient features and gives an overview of the innovative design solution. This documentation can also be very useful for further development and also serves as a reference document for starting a business entrepreneurship. Okay, so if you look at it, these are the key elements that going to make this report and presentation a very important part of your documentation. So let's have a look at further study and references. So we have the DSource content, dsource.in/DT&I has information on the design thinking and innovation process, and there is a whole lot of case studies, courses, tools and resources that you can make use of. We recommend the book The Design of Future Things by Don Norman. Also Nexus, A Brief History of Information by Noah Harari is a very nice book again. Okay, so these are the 2 recommended books as references. We'll end with a beautiful quote, a profound quote again, and a very important quote. The quote is by Neil Armstrong when he landed on the moon. He says that that's one small step for a man, but a giant step for the mankind. So thanks a lot for listening. This was A16, week 16. And let's have a look at the summary of from week 1 to 8. We started with the course structure and introduction to design thinking. Week 2, we asked a lot of questions and we looked at the different models of design thinking and innovation. Week 3 was about secondary research and then how to do documentation. Week 4 is about secondary research, part 2. You looked at the user and environment. Week 5 was going to primary research, that means you try to collect information on your own, part 1. Focus on interacting with the user. Week 6 was primary research, part 2. Again, further user studies were done. Week 7, we started with analysis, that means the information or the data analysis. Week 8 is part 2 of this. You went from all the way from inferences to recommendations. Week 9 started the ideation process, part 1. Okay, how to generate very creative ideas. Week 10 followed it with part 2 of ideation, again generating more ideas. You also looked at how to evaluate the ideas that you got and to do concept maps. Week 11 was starting of the prototype, part 1. So you did soft prototype, rough sketches, paper prototypes and try to create scenarios and storyboarding. Week 12 was part 2 of prototyping, okay, minimum viable product, proof of concept, information architecture and elements of experience design. Week 13 you started looking at human factors and ergonomics, also looked at systems mapping, and from soft prototype to medium prototype, you went into high fidelity prototyping. You also looked at options of 3D modeling and printing. And week 14, you did usability studies. You did again, took feedback from this, and iteratively you redesigned and finalized the design. Week 15 was all about creating a business model of the solution that you've thought of, how to do a pitch presentation, instances of what are, IP and Creative Commons, open source and open design. And week 16 is where we are doing the final design, report and presentations. So we finished the process now. We'll go on to the tools, and then to the project, and then to the case study.